what I'd like to do is just maybe finish with a few examples of tangible use cases of digital twins.
Yeah, I mean, the one that I started on earlier was the Cross River Rail in Brisbane, and that, I mean, obviously that came about from them talking to Crossrail here in the UK and learning from that on an international level. That communication is still carried on, which is great to hear. And they started, I think it was 2018, 2019, and the digital twin was baked into the contract from day one. And how they have really been pushing forward with the digital twin on more sort of that sort of engagement at all levels, from state, government to state to client to finance to forthcoming users. And that has really become a very engaging part of their project, is being able to use the visual interpretation from that. You look at things like Network Rail, you look at Thames Tideway and what they've been able to do. And, certainly, small component parts of a digital twin, I mean, key parts, such as, 4D, 5D, the synchro tool here at Bentley, where they're actually doing dress rehearsals. Build it once digitally before you build it again. The removal of errors, material wastage, time wastage, pollution, if you want to go down the carbon route as well. Those practical examples have really worked well and really lifted themselves. And I'm of that age where I remember playing Trivial Pursuits with the family a long time ago before it became digital, and you all got that container that you drop your cheese wedges when you got the questions right into. That's the digital twin. That's the container that holds all the different sources of data from different places, that gives you the ability to move forward and move around the board to win the game or complete the project, however you want to wrap that up. And that is the key part. It's just not the digital twin. There's a lot of component parts, a lot of parts of data that come in. You put those data together, you create the insight that gives you the ability to bring a successful project home.
One thing I've just noticed actually with the examples you've given me, and I don't know if that's just because these are the examples you've worked on or no, they're largely transport related.
No, I mean, I can give you some examples of buildings. I mean, look at some of the work that Qatar has been doing around the stadiums there, the digital work they've done there, the oil and gas industry, from the work we've done with clients out in the Gulf of Mexico and digital twins there. There is numerous levels. And I think the one thing I would say that is really interesting, going back to your overarching government, we need to work on the soft skills of communication. Too often, too many projects are done and they're not transcribed in a way that they can actually be sourced and used by other industries. And that's the one thing we need to do, is raise that awareness across industries that people can learn about transport and how transport are doing and how transport are learning from automotive and onwards.
In terms of the work that you did for the Gemini papers and the work you did for the Centre for Digital Built Britain over the past few years, the research, the knowledge you've gained, and then putting it into the white papers that you've released, how do you hope industries will use that knowledge? What would you, for you, to sit back and think, yeah, that was a success, what do you want to see?
We publish the Gemini papers particularly as the blueprint for the future. So that's exactly how we would like them to use it. We've put down what we've learned, the how, the what, the why. We're handing that over to the industry now, saying, okay, this is what you need to know now. This is your foundation. We've done this for you. Take the next steps.
Okay, Peter, anything to add?
The one thing I would add is making also the shift in the industry from focusing on building new thing to optimizing the services and to providing outcomes. So shifting the whole industry towards outcomes. I think it's something I think all of us on the call, but also CDBB is some core to the whole kind of vision for everything that has happened. And I think that is one of the pieces that I think personally, and I think maybe everyone would agree, this would be something that would carry over as well and become the focus for generally infrastructure and the built environment, is to provide better outcomes for people and nature through better services.
Mark, Alexandra, Peter, thank you so much for your time.